Oh,
Hi and assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome back to Chit Chat Ramadan. This is our seventh episode, and therefore I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you, merci beaucoup, shukran jazilan to all of you who've been here with us from the first episode up until now. I'm Shafika Paris, and I'll be your host for today's episode. And for today, we have a very special guest with us. She's a songwriter, she's a singer, and the best part is she's a Japanese. Well,
no.
that's just a joke. That's just a joke.
Yes.
Okay, so let's put the joke aside. But I'm pretty sure if you guys are into indie or underground music, her name is no longer foreign to you. So I present to you Takahara Suiko. So,
Hi.
hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, Alhamdulillah. So, I believe a lot of people knows you and probably are familiar with your name, but do you mind introducing yourself a bit?
Um, hi everyone. Assalamualaikum. I'm Taka. I just
Salam.
woke up. I slept after subuh. So, um, what am I? I am a musician, sort of. I write songs. I play instruments. I do music. Sometimes I write other things like books. I write books. I only have one book. Um, what else I do? I do a lot of useless things. That's all you can know.
Okay. All right. Thank you for such a brief introduction. By the way, guys, if you guys are still wondering what's our topic for today, it is self love. I think it's written down there. So I'm pretty sure our guest has a lot of things to say regarding to this topic. So let's start by asking a simple question first.
Yes.
How do you perceive the idea of loving yourself, or in other words, how would you define self love?
Um, how I define self love is you pick apart yourself both inside and outside. So like from the outside you start with looking into the mirror until you want to puke. And you look into the mirror and you try to pinpoint all the tiny things that you hate and analyze why you hate each of them. Macam aku ada jerawat kat sini,
Oh
annoyingnya
my
jerawat ni, and you
god.
just like
Yeah,
just
I have a
pinpoint at
pimple
that
now.
jerawat. sorry, sorry. So you just pinpoint that jerawat and then you just ask yourself why do you hate that jerawat so much, and then you wonder macam if you walk past someone in a mall, someone you don't know, do you think that person will pinpoint that jerawat for like entire day for 5 hours? No, they'll just like look at you. Oh, okay, and then they chow. So if people don't, if people, because everyone is like everyone cares too much about themselves that they forgot to think about other people sebenarnya. Padahal we worry what people might think about us. And if you once you know that, you will know that orang tak kisah sangat pun sebenarnya. We just have to because everyone is thinking about what other people are thinking about them. So macam what you do is you assess yourself first, or you criticize yourself first, both inside and outside. All the things that macam things that annoy you, like why do I hate doing chores? Why do I hate doing this, why do I hate doing that, and you analyze that, and then that's when you realize that, oh, I hate doing this because of that. And when you learn more about yourself, that's when you can learn to love and accept yourself. Wow, ya Allah, mengaku. Okay, so yeah, that's my point of view.
All right. So again, from your point of view, right? Why do
Yeah,
you think self love is important?
it's important because if you don't love yourself first, people are not going to love you. But at the same time, macam there are people who still loves you even though you don't love yourself. Cuma masalahnya you spend the most time with yourself, you know, when you're in the toilet pooping, you are with yourself, you're not with other people, right? At least I don't think so. So, those times when you're going to sleep at night, especially, yeah, macam you spend the dark thoughts start coming to you when you're about to sleep, macam okay,
Yeah.
aku dah buat kerja apa semua ini, and I want to like chill, I want to rest, I want to sleep. And that's when all the dark thoughts come to you. So if you don't love your dark thoughts during the day, then they're going to attack you at night, and then you cannot sleep, and you wake up you become a zombie the next day, and that cycle continues. So in order to not be a zombie, you either take naps every day, or you have to start embracing your demons, gitu. Ya Allah, I don't know, I'm just
Wow,
saying
few
from my
those words though, like I think just a recap. In order for you to love
mm,
yourself, you need to know yourself first, right?
yes,
And personally, I think
mm,
self love is all about accepting your flaws, embracing
yeah,
your weaknesses. Like what John Legend once said, like apa?
all
Love
of
all.
me.
Yes,
Mm,
yeah. Love all of you. Love your curves and all your edges. All your love all your perfect
yes,
imperfections. Right. So,
but you
by
have
the
to
way,
wait for John Legend to tell you that first before you
yes,
do that to
yes,
yourself.
true,
Yeah.
true. So, by the way, guys, to those of you who are still new, welcome to Chit Chat Ramadan. Don't forget to leave us some comments and ask us few questions. We'll answer those questions at the end of this episode. So, I just want to know, what do you think are the consequences of not having self love? And how do you think, in certain ways, not having self love will affect a person's life?
Wait, the first half of the question, what? My brain is a goldfish. So,
It's okay.
first half dulu, first half dulu.
All right. What are the consequences of not having a self love?
Self love. The consequences is, I myself have been evaluating my self love, because here's what I do. I'm gonna be honest. I stalk people on Instagram almost every day. It's to the
Okay.
point that it's
Yes.
crippling, that it's wasting a lot of my time. I spend
Mm.
hours stalking Dayan Trisha, contohnya lah kan. And because macam she's very pretty, she's very famous, she can act, she can sing, apa semua tu. Macam why do I stalk her so much? Why do I hate her so much? Dia macam, I hate her, but she's so terror already, she's already so rich and so famous and so pretty. So macam whatever she does, people like. And I was like, why do I do this? Why do I torture myself? Like, why don't I love myself enough? Because like few years back, I didn't care about other people. I just do what I was doing, which is like macam I write music almost every day, and I just like
Mm.
don't think about other people, which was
Mm.
nice because back then Instagram and Twitter was like still new. So macam dia Instagram and Twitter was still like micro blogs. You know what I mean? So Instagram was still like macam a photo album of yourself. Now it
Yes.
has become this monster of people just like attacking each other on each other's pages. So before it was a monster, like I didn't give a hoot about all the other people. I was just like do my own thing. And then social media comes in, and I start like comparing myself with these other people, and macam why do I keep on doing that? And I had to like delete Instagram and Twitter just to take a step back and kemas rumah, masak, like do whatever, just to not pay attention to all these people that I've been stalking. And I was also evaluating myself, macam where has the self-love that I had for myself like few years ago, why is it gone now? I'm
Mm.
30, for God's sake. Macam have that thing back. You need it the most now. Um but yeah, that's the consequences, is you start comparing yourself with other people. and and because macam if you start comparing because you know that that person has the thing that you don't. Macam yeah, you just like all the small things, padahal macam there are a lot of things as well that you have that that person doesn't, that that person
Mm.
wants. Macam
Hmm.
if that person knows you, they might want those things that you have. And that's the disparity that you have within yourself, and it's dangerous. It was dangerous to me, has been like detrimental to my self-esteem as of late. So I needed to like step back, delete my social media, and just like, okay, jom kemas rumah. And while I start like kemas rumah, and I notice like all these small mementos. Wait, I did this, I did that. So macam it helps in giving me the courage slash self love again in a way. Ya ke? Aku tak tahu jumpa ke apa.
Well, I think that actually works. Well, since I would like to relate back to what you said just now, since
Yeah.
self-love actually refers to the ability of one to love oneself. But
Mm.
reality check, we are living in the era of social media. Like what you said,
Yeah.
we have a tendency to compare ourselves and we put our value, our worth in other people's hands. Like, for example, I will not consider myself as a successful person if I don't get this recognition or if I don't receive this award. I won't consider myself as beautiful or good looking if my followers never told me so. So, how do you get rid of this idea, or how do you convey the message to those people out there that in order for you to love yourself, you cannot put your worth in other people's hand, and you cannot get your self love through instant gratification.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. Social media in itself is instant gratification because you see like ada notification and someone like your photo, someone retweet your tweet, and
Yeah.
that is like the that is the peril of social media. That's why I deleted my Facebook, because
Oh.
Facebook, I was like just like typing statuses,
Hmm.
and then people will agree and people will like, although
Hmm.
macam ada orang yang tak agree. So but orang yang tak agree tu, they won't comment on your status because like why would they? So that I noticed when that happened to me, macam these people are agreeing with me because they reflect their my opinion reflect theirs, but
Hmm.
also it's giving me this ego boost that I don't like. So I deleted my Facebook. Padahal macam benda tu is applicable to Twitter and Instagram lah. But I guess because I foresee the future that Facebook is gonna be a toxic
Gone.
ass
Yeah.
place. So like I'm gonna leave before it gets worse. Um I saw wait, to answer your question, I saw this question from Faris Hamizan. Dia tanya, is it important to have me time for loving myself? I think that sort of like answers the question, because macam if you don't have me time, then you don't the time that you spend just to think about yourself was not was spent on thinking about other person instead, because as you scroll through social media, you'll be thinking about other people instead of yourself.
Yes,
Although macam
yes.
you would think macam, how can I be like this person, how can I be like that person, you are still thinking about the other person, instead of, if I step back from social media, I throw my phone away from the window, through the window,
Hmm.
and I just the time, okay, let's say I spend an hour on social media scrolling through like 15 people punya feed or the explore page. That 1 hour you just spend like baring or duduk and just like tak buat apa-apa. But by not doing nothing, then you start thinking about all the dark thoughts lah. Cuma you do it during the day, and you, so it's kind of like practice, you practice to makan pakai tangan kanan waktu kita kecil kan. So
Hmm.
we're used to makan pakai tangan kanan instead of tangan kiri.
Hmm.
And through practice of having an hourly session with yourself, you start like digging deeper, and that's when you sort of like, yeah, it's just that the time spent on thinking about other people should be spent on yourself. This is basically an advice to myself also lah. So thank you, Faris, for sort of answering my question.
All right. So for the next question, we do believe that being in a positive environment is very helpful in terms of loving ourselves. But we're also aware that being in a supportive and loving environment is actually a privilege. Like
Yeah.
even now, we are having MCO, we started to realize that not everyone has a roof over their head. Not everyone has food on their plate. And not everyone has a loving and caring family. So, what advice would you give to these people when they have a lot of reasons to hate on themselves? What advice would you give to them to love themselves despite difficulties they are in?
Ush, susah. Sebab it's still, like I mentioned earlier, it's something that you need practice. So the first sort, like macam, I think I learned this through songwriting also. Like,
Mm,
why do I hate, like when I analyze the mirror, and then I just pinpoint all the blemishes I have on my face, and then I ask myself, like, why do I hate this, why do I hate that, and then I start accepting it. And it took me a while also to macam start accepting that, oh, aku ada jerawat kat sini, aku ada parut kat sini, and I don't have to hide all these things anymore. So through songwriting juga, which I think is applicable in this situation, when you the first song that you write, it's always going to be shit, because it sounds like another person's song. Macam, let's say I love Kimbra. There's this artist called Kimbra, and then the first song that I wrote sounds exactly like this song of hers called Gold Mine, contohnya lah kan.
mm,
And I was like, macam aku tulis ni pun buat apa, bunyi macam lagu Kimbra. So macam buat apa nak tulis ni? You feel like you're wasting time by writing that song. Padahal macam that is a vital step in for you to start. Macam, okay, this part of my brain is sounds like Kimbra. I've done exploring that part because I wrote down that song.
mm,
Now the next day, contohnya kan, I'm gonna explore other parts of my brain which sounds like Linkin Park ke apa contohnya kan. And then the next day I'm gonna explore this other side of my brain, and so on and so forth. So um why by hating yourself every day, macam it can get to a point where, yes, I do hate myself every single day. But and then what is important is you start the spark. Contohnya kan, hari kelima you feel like, penat lah, macam hating your, why would I hate myself, why would I do this? You start questioning. You don't just hate blindly for like ever. I feel like that is a very tiring thing to do. And I think anyone also macam would start questioning themselves to a point where, kenapa aku tak suka ni you know if you do the self evaluation thing lah, which I think my husband has told me, like, sometimes you don't evaluate yourself, you don't do self evaluation. I think macam, yes, I have been lacking that recently, because I used to do it like when I was living alone. um but yeah, tapi tu lah, macam when you live alone, you start to, I guess, think about yourself more. Macam, because if you're living with other people, you would think about, okay, I have to like do my chores and do my laundry so that this person is not burdened, or macam I don't kacau this person's territory, macam housemate ke apa kan.
mm.
But when you're doing it alone, when there's no one else around you, macam it's easier for you to do self evaluation on the daily. Although it will definitely start with you hating yourself lah. You have to pinpoint what you don't like about something. Macam, I don't like this movie. Why? And then just like list down the things that you don't like about this movie. Because if you love yourself, then there won't be a problem, right? But when you, from those flaws, you learn more. Macam you learn more through failures. You learn more through your flaws. You learn more through kekalahan.
Well,
Tak tahu
so
merapu. Okay.
what I can summarize is that self love is a process, and a process
Yes.
does take time. You can't see the result instantaneously. You have to be patient throughout the process, right? Okay. So Farhana Halim, she asked, how do you differentiate self-love and narcissism? Is narcissism a good or a bad thing? Okay, I think because the word self-love, self actually
Yeah.
comes at the very front, right? And somehow it shows, like, people always misunderstand that when you are talking about self-love, it means that you are a narcissistic, you are an egocentric, and like you'll be you think that you're good in every field that in whatever field you're doing. So how do you differentiate, or what is the fine line between the real or the ideal meaning of self-love and the opposite?
I think this is what I think.
Hmm.
Self love is when you don't show it to other people, and narcissism is when other people see it. Macam contohnya lah kan,
Hmm.
I'm checking out the mirror. I was just
Okay.
like, I checked out the mirror macam,
Hmm.
you look nice today. But you don't say it out loud.
Get it? Get it?
And and then when other people see you looking into the mirror, macam, narcissistic ni. So narcissism is just something that is from the third person point of view, whereas self love is from your point of view, first person point of view. And some people dia akan terbagi pada dua lah. Contohnya macam someone post a selfie on social media, right? And then the person who was posting it is doing it because macam I finally have the confidence to do this. I've never done this before. This is self love. This is something rare that I do. Contohnya lah kan.
Hmm.
And even macam throughout the hundreds of selfies that they post on social media, it's like they are appreciating their beauty, and they just put it on social media because hey, why not? Meh, aku letak kat my page. Other people would see it macam would agree with the person posting. Contohnya lah macam Dan Tisha, okay, followers dia suka sebab dia lawan. And then there's the other camp which is like, kau asyik post selfie je, tak ada benda lain ke? Macam, narcissisticnya. It depends on like which point of view you are in. If you're in the point of view of that person is narcissistic, then that thing is narcissism lah. But if you're in the point of view of that person is appreciating all their flaws and all their beauty that God has given them, so they just do that to sort of like to show the self love that they have for themselves, and to show to other people that, hey, you can do this too. You can also post a selfie of your bare face ke apa kan, with all the scars on your face, on your heart, and you just you showcase it to people. And that is like macam by showcasing your self love to people, you might inspire other people or might inspire other people to hate you. So it depends on just a point of view. Yeah,
Get it? So I think
yeah,
it really depends on how you see things, right?
yes.
Okay, we have a question from Farhatul Atika. In certain cases, people say that our friends slash family are the reflection of ourselves, perhaps of our behavior as well. To what extent that those perceptions or ideas imply?
It's I guess it's how much you let them influence your life throughout the years. Contohnya, I grew up when I was around 5 or 6. So remember, I was in Tadika at that time. Siti Nurhaliza was famous. Dia macam baru start and dia macam meletup kan. And then I remember like one of my parents was reading the Panca Indera. Surat khabar Panca Indera tu. Dia kata macam Siti ni tak pandai, sebab tu dia tak pergi universiti, sebab tu jadi artis.
Hmm,
I've been instilled with that mindset since I was small. So every time I see artists on, Panca Indera or on TV or melody ke apa kan,
hmm,
I think that macam dia tak pandai. Sebab tu dia jadi artis, sebab tu dia jadi penyanyi, sebab tu dia jadi pelakon.
hmm,
And karma came back to bite my ass. And macam, nah, padam ke? You've been saying all those bad things about the artist, and macam, nah, kau pula jadi artis. Cuba rasakan, padam ke? And so it's like I learned that through karma lah, basically. And from that point on, macam when I think when I start writing lah, because I feel like when I write songs, that is when I'm most calm and most organized mentally. And when I start writing songs when I was 17, 18 macam tu kan, I
hmm,
was like thinking macam, why do I hate all these artists or musicians? Why do I hate them so much? Why do I think that they are not smart? Padahal macam ada yang lagu-lagu yang macam Panic at the Disco, analyzing society, Linkin Park, all those punk bands, that we listened to during our younger years, macam these people are actually giving like a huge impact to this, bukanlah deciding, to helping the society. Macam okay, I need an emotion for this anger, I need an emotion for this situation, and ada orang buat lagu pasal anarki ke whatever lah, that reflects your heart. So macam that is not a dumb thing to do, it's a smart thing to do, because it's so just because you don't go to university doesn't mean that you're dumb. Just because you don't have a degree doesn't mean you're dumb. And as I try to sort of like evaluate that mind reevaluate that mindset, I realized that whatever my family was thinking back then, walaupun I've been thinking about it throughout my school years, doesn't mean that I should stay with it until now. uh, Macam hating on, just gonna be open here, hating on the LGBT community. Macam I want to kill the gays. Macam I used to have that, and now macam why do I want to kill them? Macam if it is, they were born with that kind of sort of like, it's a thing that naluri. If it's their naluri, like how your naluri is just like this and that. Macam how do you change this? You can't hate people just because they're different from you. That's it. You can't just hate people for being different from you. You have to like, that's why God create us not equal. It's for us to learn of each other. Something like that. That was a very controversial thing to say, but don't kill people without reason. Wait, what are you talking about? So that's my point of
All
view.
right. Um, I get it. Like I think based on what you said just now, even though you've been like, I think not just you, we Asian kids, we've been brainwashed with certain mindsets, right? But
Yep.
at one point in our life, there is a need for us to reevaluate
Mm.
because people change, people grow. Probably 10 years ago, I was, and I believe we all were a different person back then. But now, since
Yes.
we grow older, our perspective is different. So
Yes.
there's always a need for a new judgment, a new reevaluation. So
Mm.
we have a new question from Slacker Domes. Yeah. What if self-evaluation lead to further self-depreciating attitude?
Deprecating. I think that
Depreciating.
is so. I think that is me. I'm having this moment of self-deprecation all this while. I think um it's not it's not a bad thing. Yeah. Some people, macam contohnya the British, if you notice
Okay.
British humor is very self-deprecating. Macam they don't think highly of themselves, but they're still funny. Macam kalau korang tengok, I was going to say Adele, like some of the things that she said about herself, she does macam think that I'm shit, I'm blah blah blah, blah. Tapi macam we see that as funny because she's Adele, you know. And that to us, we macam, from other people's point of view, self-deprecation is humor because macam that person is self-deprecating themselves, but also at the same time, it's we find it funny, and that's why we love them, because there is a moment of humbleness, because you're being humble because you're hating on yourself and you tell people that you hate yourself, you know what I mean? But not much, you do it jokingly, but it is actually, I don't believe that jokes are fake, jokes are real. Because jokes is just like a subconscious part of your mind just saying things. Yeah, so self-deprecation. um So again, this is divided into two things. I'm just gonna go with, again, my prime example, Dandrisha. Dandrisha does not do self-deprecation. She thinks very highly of herself, and that is inspiring for other people. Macam, I think I'm the best at doing everything. I'm the, me, I'm the greatest, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
She does that. And to her it's good. To me, I don't think that that suits my my well-being, my traits, my personality. It doesn't suit my personality. So I approach the other end of the spectrum, which is self-deprecation. I was like, I hate myself, this is shit. I'm so bad at things. But some people, macam if I see that in another person, I see that as macam it's humorous and it's humbling because that person notice each flaws and make fun of themselves. And that's what makes macam them, those people, hyper aware. I don't want to say I'm hyper aware. Ooh, I'm hyper aware. And that's the thing, like I'm not doing that right now even, but I would like to be as hyper aware as I can, as much as possible, because it's sort of like before other people criticize your bad behavior, you
Visit.
yourself put out to the people, ha,
Yeah.
aku tahu dulu, aku tu
Yes.
dulu ni aku
Yes.
punya bad trait. So macam, yeah, you that hyper awareness of yourself is my approach of self love, which leads to self deprecation.
So
I'm like that lah.
does it work for you?
It, I don't know. Does it work for me? I mean, with me, it works for me. But through other people might think that macam, macam annoying agak dia asyik cakap benda lah tu pasal diri dia sendiri macam, ugh. You know, there's always some other people will say that they're annoyed by your existence. So you can't, satisfy them anyway. But it works for me until now because whenever people puji macam, Taka, lagu tu best ah, Taka best
Mm,
you. I just don't let it consume me, because when I get over my head, because if I start getting over my head, that's when I feel like I'm better than other people, and that is dangerous for me. Macam I'm saying I'm the best at doing this. It's dangerous because there is always someone out there in the world or in the universe that can do whatever you're doing 100 times better. So even if you're the best, even if you're like frigging Albert Einstein, there's probably some kid in war-torn countries right now that doesn't have Einstein punya privileges, that is way smarter than Einstein, but Einstein doesn't know. You know what I mean? So macam that kid is probably like 10,000 times better than Einstein. But yeah, if Einstein lets that thing, macam consume him, macam I'm the best. Macam
mhm.
you will live in this facade that you don't have to improve anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know where I was getting there, and then but dah jumpa jalan. Okay.
All right. So move on to the next question. Like you did say just now that among the things that you actually did to take a break from social media, to get the self love is like by cooking or doing house chores and also leaving the social medias, right? So I believe that you have such a large followers on social medias like Twitter and Instagram, not just Diane Trisha but also Takahara
Damn,
Suiko.
just juta kot.
So just out of curiosity, have you ever struggled with self love? And what are the tips that you may want to give to our audience?
I think I've answered this sort of in the earlier
Yeah,
questions.
yeah,
How have I struggled with self love? Yes, I
yeah.
have many times. Every time I stalk Dayan Tisha, geramnya, stresnya aku rasa aku tak lawa macam dia so that I get famous faster kan. Um, um, so whenever I suffer with that, with self love, macam I start comparing myself with other
Mm-hmm.
people. Um, I One of the few approaches I took is macam I step away from social media.
Okay.
The another approach would be I start reminiscing mementos, or macam I start being nostalgic lah. Contohnya, what I do is what am I saying? 10 years ago lah contohnya. 10 tahun lepas, my YouTube channel, Takahara Suiko, is like I post my first video of me doing songs. But it's not the first video lah. Cuma macam on that channel, because I have two channels and I have another channel. So on the Takara Seiko channel, I start posting my music up there because I was afraid that nanti computer crash, lepas tu lagu tu semua hilang. Sebab waktu tu tak ada Google Drive tau. So and that thing has happened to me so many times, like hard drive crash and then semua data hilang. So it was like I was afraid of that. So I upload all my songs on YouTube just as a place to archive my songs. So sometimes I would go back to the songs that I've done previously, macam not bad gak aduh lagu ni, macam and then macam I just like go from song to song, macam wait, you have been improving, you have been doing all these great things, and I feel like not everyone can do this. So macam you start um seeing yourself from a third person point of view, because while you write those songs, contohnya kan, when I wrote those songs, macam I don't feel like I'm great enough. I just pour my heart out. I'll just do whatever I was thinking. So when you've like put that thing aside and then you start going back to it, you're seeing it from a third person point of view, and you start seeing macam, hey, you actually have good taste. You actually, I didn't know that you could write like this. I didn't know you could write like that. I think, almost always surprised at my previous work, my previous works more than I would think I can. Because one, because I think that all the writing comes from him anyway. So macam I was just like, oh, ini yang dia bagi aku itu lah, So and I was just that those moments sort of like remind me as to why he chose you to write these words. He didn't choose anyone else. He chose you to write these words, to write these songs. Because you wanted to like run away from doing assignments, so you write songs instead. So that was me back in the day. But those moments, macam contohnya, we went to Europe last year
Hmm.
and we went touring, and then I tu waktu tengah kemas, and then I was like jumpa like tiket pergi museum, tiket pergi festival, semua macam, wait, you perform at this festival, and this festival ada like frigging The Roots, ada all these crazy bands that you look up to, and it's like macam I get to perform with them on the same festival, and you start macam reminiscing, and those reminiscing moments is when you start macam, hey, I've gone far enough in life for me to not hate myself. I should appreciate all these opportunities that I've gotten these throughout these years. Even the smallest thing, macam contoh lah kan, I don't know, salted egg chips.
Okay.
Macam I just want to show, because macam okay, aku jumpa this brand of chips out of the blue, and me wanting to try it out, macam I'm glad I took that decision to try out these chips, because these are great chips, contohnya kan. So macam even those small moments in your life where all the basically trait developments that you've done over the years, you honing your personality, pushing it this way, that way, those things made you decide to buy these chips that are so great that you were like thankful for your taste buds. You know what I mean? Yang ni tak sedap lah sebenarnya. Dia ada lagi satu brand, tapi
Oh,
macam
okay.
this is the only thing that I have. Yeah, so that's I hope that answers the question.
Yes, yes.
Me
It
suffering
did. It
self-love
did.
and how to cope with it.
So
Yes.
just to recap, other than take a step back from social media, is that do reminisce our old memories and don't forget our little things that we've achieved in life.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So we have a question from Mira Had. What if the people who kind of pull you back from loving yourself is your family? We can turn off our phone and not look at social media, but what can we do if the negativity comes from people around us? I believe you've answered this just now, but probably you may want to add some more regarding her
Yeah.
question.
I think this question is more well defined. How Oh, this is very, 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 very difficult. I am I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm privileged enough to have our own home. Our meaning myself and my husband's home.
Mm, mm,
And not live with my family. Because the last 5 months that I spent with my family, because I was just like what tu awal tahun tu, like I broke my foot, so I had to stay with them, and then blah, blah, blah. And then macam MCO happened, so we couldn't move back. And I noticed that when I spend time with my family, I do macam appreciate them, but I feel like I'm always anxious when I'm with them because I'm expected to do this, I'm expected to do that. Even in the house, macam, kenapa tak jemur baju, kenapa tak cuci baju, kenapa tak tolong mama dekat dapur, those kind of things kan.
Hmm.
And it can be exhausting. That so we decided to move back. Satu sebab Anwar dah start kerja, so takut macam dia ada asymptomatic things kalau dia dapat COVID dekat office dia kan, macam we don't want to bring it back to the house, macam let's quarantine separately at our house. But also another thing would be macam I was like, I felt a bit terkongkong because I was at the house and I'm expected to bangun sahur, I'm expected to, macam I have to wake up at 5 sebab mama will knock on my door at 5. So macam padahal kat sini I was just like, I'm gonna take my time, I'm gonna like not makan sahur, or I'm gonna eat sahur very late, like 5:30 baru nak makan kan. um so that is a I'm just gonna put it out there, that is the privilege that I have, and I'm thankful I have that privilege. As for the times when I couldn't go out because my family is around, there's really no, I'm just gonna give you zero hope. I'm just going to let you know that this is going to be super difficult. That's all I can say. It's going to be super difficult for you to start loving yourself because you have to think about your family members. And when your family members say this and that to you, macam there's also like domestic violence happening during MCO, and that's like that is devastating. And you
Yeah.
cannot run away because kau tak ada tempat lain nak lari kot. And it's I don't know how those people still stay strong. If some of them who manage to stay strong, you guys are the strongest. And I don't know. I'm just gonna say I don't know the answer to that, because if I were in that situation, I would be depressed as fuck as hell, you know, all day every day, and I couldn't. I might go the easy way out. I might take the easy way out, which is, uh, and we don't want that. And I'm just gonna say I don't know. Yeah, give up. I give up. But it's really hard. It's really hard. So if you manage to, you know, get yourself um get your self love, if you manage to cultivate self love in that environment, I have the highest respect for you, because if I were you, I would have been gone. That's all I can say. Because I don't have any answer for this. This question is hard. Thank you, Mira. But if you are in this situation, I hope you are stronger than I am. I think
Yeah.
you are stronger than I am, and yeah, I
And
hope
never
you
lose hope.
never lose hope. It's cliche and annoying,
Yes.
but never lose
Yes.
hope.
All right. So since our program is Chit Chat Ramadan, and this is during
Yeah.
Ramadan itself, so how would you relate the idea of self love and Ramadan? Because I personally think that Ramadan is the best month for us to find our inner self. So how does that relate to self love?
Um. Hmm. How does Ramadan relate to self love? I think we shouldn't confine our macam doing good things only during Ramadan. That's what
Yes.
people are used to. Macam, oh, bulan puasa kita kena buat
Read
benda beribadah,
Quran.
benda
Yeah.
senonoh kan.
Yeah.
Apa semua tu. Like, yeah, but why don't do it the other 11 months? Like, what have you been doing all this while? Were you been doing like all those shitty things for you to like repent on this 1 month? No, right? So macam it can be a starting point. Yeah, macam orang buat New Year resolution lah. Kan? Macam, okay, tahun ni aku nak buat ni, tahun ni aku nak buat tu. And then by February, you forgot everything already. So, um, I think by not thinking that you're doing this for Ramadan, because you're doing this because of Ramadan, that would help you in maintaining whatever good things that you've been doing. You start doing lah. So macam it can be a good um starting point. It can be a catalyst for you to, okay, bulan ni aku nak start baca Quran, but I hope it can continue like in the other months as
Yeah.
well. But but you have to bear in mind, macam I'm not doing this for Ramadan, I'm doing this for myself. I'm not doing this because we're fasting or because bulan ni lebih banyak pahala, tak ada. Because when you start doing it for pahala, you're not doing it ikhlas, I think. Macam because you're doing it, because you're doing it because you want a prize. And pahala is that prize, and you're chasing for that prize. I feel like that is not ikhlas. If you want to do it, you just do it. Macam, oh, I want to do this because I feel like this is fun. Baca Quran is fun, and doing all these good things is fun, and it's nice, and it's good for not just yourself but also for other people. And yeah, this thing reminds me of this saying or this story of an atheist, where dia macam, so as a believer of any religion, you would do things because you are macam you want to approach, contohnya macam Buddhism, you approach nirvana. In Islam, you approach heaven, and you get pahala and whatnot. In Christianity also. Whereas atheists, they do good things because they don't expect the afterlife. They don't expect any rewards. They just do it because it's the right thing to do. It's a good thing to do. And I really respect that point of view of macam of that story lah, because that story says macam atheists do good because they don't expect anything back. They just do good because it's a good thing to do. And it's important to remind yourself that as well.
Yep.
Wow. Am I encouraging people to be atheist? No, but you do it for yourself first lah. Kau tak macam keikhlasan tu datang dari mana tu lah. Sebab you're not really ikhlas if you're doing it for rewards. Mm,
Well, just a little bit of recap based on what
mm.
Taka said just now is that you need to make sure, first thing first, don't make Ramadan is the only month that you do your ibadah. Make it
Yeah.
constantly throughout the other months as well. And also
Yes.
find joy and happiness in the things that you do. Like for example, you want to perform your salah because that's the only time for you to meet Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. You get
Yeah.
what
For
I
you
mean,
to
right?
talk with him. Yeah.
Yes, and like you do your tahajjud because that's the time for you to have a date with
Mm,
him. Other than, of
mm,
course, the pahala will come afterwards, but
mm.
in order for you to do it constantly, there must be some like inner motivation, inner spirit that it like again lah, like it shouldn't be just about pahala because in whatever you do, you need to find joy as well. All right.
Yes. Yes.
So, well, do you guys have any more questions?
Any
Okay,
questions?
any questions? Okay, so
Last
before
last call. Last call.
let's call, yeah. All right. So probably if you guys have any questions, just ask it here.
Ada
But
ni Nadia Ashari. How can I
no,
acknowledge the needs that I can't or haven't met yet? I
oh,
haven't yet
okay.
met.
I missed that. I missed that. All right.
So should that
So
be the last question?
yes, but feel free to ask. Feel free to ask. But probably you
Okay.
can answer that first.
Okay. Thank you, Nadia, for the question. How can I acknowledge the needs that I cannot or have not yet meet? Whoa. Um. How can I acknowledge the needs that I cannot have yet? Okay. This question reminds me of this musician that I look up to sometimes. Nama dia Jacob Collier. I don't know if you guys know this. So I'm just going to explain in music theory punya, bukan music theory lah, macam dari segi music kan. So apa yang dia buat ialah,
Hmm?
there was a point in his life, or like constantly in his life, where macam dia punya music taste dekat sini, dia punya skill dekat sini. So in order for him to meet for him to write music that matches his music taste, he has to like work very hard to climb up the stairs and meet his music taste. And it's like this progress, it happens, I think it happens in life or in anything ah. Macam contoh kalau nak main badminton kan, aku nak smash tapi aku tak reti nak smash and aku punya skill level kat sini. So you need to like work hard for you to get to this level. And then when you can do smash consistently, now you want to do something else. Okay, I want to do like a curve smash ke apa kan. And then you have you set a new standard for yourself, and then you have to chase that, the next standard that you have, and then you keep on, it's like macam tangga lah, keeps on chasing each other. And by knowing that you have needs that you cannot meet yet means that you have to work hard now for you to achieve what you need. And because you acknowledge that, that's when you notice that, oh, okay, I think I have very high taste and I need to achieve this level of uh architecture design. But in order for me to get there, I need to work hard now. So macam it all boils down to working hard and finding your way to achieve that goal. But after you've reached that goal, you're going to have a new goal instead, because people are humans. Growth is about challenging themselves all the time. So it's good to have needs that you cannot meet yet, so that later, like 1 year down the line or 5 years down the line, you will meet that needs or goals. Ah,
Yes.
gitu.
I think it's good for you to have a goal, like to set a higher goal, because it
Yes.
will it will only push you forward, because you don't want to push yourself backwards, right?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So any more questions? Arisha Zahir said hi. I think she said hi to
Hi.
you.
Hi to Shafika also.
All right.
Okay.
So Taka, before we wrap up, probably last words from you.
Last words from me. Don't listen to everything that I've said earlier. Throw them out the window and decide for yourself. I think last words from me is that, and also what else? Huh? Wait. Um, the journey is hard, but it will be worth it in the end. Just like how you practice play badminton or play bola jaring or basketball or whatever, it always takes time. Self love will always be um hard, and it will always be sloppy in the beginning, but in the end you will get that slam dunk. Wow, apa mengarut ni? Okay, I think you guys understand my metaphors.
All
You are
right.
smart.
Okay. Hi, trash bag fashion lover. Okay, so I think that's all from now. Again, thank you so much, Taka, for being here with us today.
Okay, baru nampak. Okay.
Are you laughing at
Okay.
the question? Okay.
Yeah. I think you spammer. Troll.
Yes. Thank you
Will I
so
wear
much.
trash bag as clothing? Yes, I will. I
And
have.
to those of you who are staying with us up till now, thank you so much again. Shukran jazilan, merci beaucoup. And don't forget to self love. Have a blessed Ramadan and happy Eid in advance. Bye. Assalamualaikum.